Sam's bringing her dog to lunch. Better be dog friendly. Better have something for her to drink out of.
I will.
It's true. It's not dog friendly. Sam's not going to have
I'll
any
be
part.
shocked to see what happens after you're a mama. You
already
got the
told
baby,
you.
the stroller, and you're going to try and find a dog-friendly place?
I'm getting a twin stroller.
Yeah, the double
Baby
stroller.
O will be in one side, Misty in the other side, and it'll be fine.
Sure. Okay, great. 713-390-KRVE is our phone number. It's called Believe It or Not. Tell us an unbelievable but true story. Michelle is up first. It has to do with a car crash and a 3-year-old. But who was the 3-year-old? Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Good
Welcome
morning.
to Believe It or Not. So tell us about this car crash story.
Yeah. So I will preface this by saying we lived in Georgia at the time, and our house was our driveway is very slanted.
Okay.
So Dad's car. I convinced my older brother that I wanted to go grocery shopping, so we hopped in the car. And we were, he was pretending to drive it. And I told him that we couldn't go anywhere unless we moved the emergency brake.
And how old were you?
My dad's car was a manual.
Michelle?
I was 3.
Oh, you were the
3.
3-year-old. Okay. And your brother was how
My dad
old?
was 6.
Your brother's 6? Okay,
Okay,
so you're
wow.
3 years old, and you actually knew what the emergency brake was at that age.
I did.
Wow, that's
I see my
weird.
dad do it all the time.
Okay.
And so the car started rolling down the driveway,
Oh, my God.
and it ran into a telephone pole.
Ran into a telephone pole.
God, were y'all hurt?
Yes. We were not.
Unbelievable.
How
Because
upset.
you backed into it, right?
No, well, the car, it was a stick shift, so we just put it into neutral, and it
Yeah.
just rolled down the driveway.
That's what I'm saying. It rolled backwards into the pole or frontwards?
Yes.
Wait a second. As a
Backward.
3-year-old, you knew how to work a clutch and shift into neutral?
Or do you have to hit the clutch if it's off? Can you
Yeah,
still shift
to
it?
change gears, you got to use the clutch.
I don't know, because sometimes these cars, even if they're not, older cars, you could
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was a
jimmy
really
that
old car.
gear shifter and hit it in neutral, and it would go. Older
Oh, yeah.
cars. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah. Yeah,
Now
definitely.
we can't do that because there's a lot of locks and safeties on them. But back then.
But I think it's really not hard to pop a car into neutral. And I told you guys this story, but I did the same thing with my Scion, and it was manual. This is probably like 2006. And I unloaded my groceries and went back to get the rest, and the car was gone.
Oh, my God.
I looked
It
across the
rolled?
street. Yeah, it was in the neighbor's yard.
Oh, my God.
The only reason it stopped was because it hit some shrubbery.
Shrubbery.
Yes, and there was no damage whatsoever. I was
You got
so
lucky.
so
That's
lucky.
really amazing. And so, Michelle, at 3 years old, you had your first wreck. Did that preface the rest of your life as an adult driver? Are you prone to having lots of accidents now?
No, I did not. I did not have a ton of wrecks coming, driving and getting older and stuff. That was a long time ago. I'm 33 now.
Yeah.
But I will say, oddly enough, my dad, because he was like, it's cosmetic, screw it, the car still runs, I'm going to continue to drive it. And not long after, he actually got into a wreck in the front.
Oh, wow.
So then he got it
The
fixed.
front of his car. Yeah, so then after that, he was like, okay, now we're going to get this fixed.
Yeah, now we're going to get this fixed. Well, I'm sure your parents were just happy
Everybody
y'all were okay.
faces
but man,
that
what a
dilemma at
lesson.
one point in their life. Well, I got a ding on the car. I really want to waste my insurance and make my premiums go up. I can live with this.
Or you
It's
fix it
not
out of
that
pocket
ugly.
and never tell them.
Right.
That's another
Yeah.
way to do it. Thank you for calling, Michelle. Have a great day. We're moving on to Taylor for Believe It or Not today on the Roula and Ryan Show. 713-390-KRBE. Unbelievable but true stories. Taylor, what's your story?
Hello.
Spotlight's on you. Good morning.
Good morning. I felt really weird one day. I was dizzy, and I went to the doctor. That was my only symptom. And she said, you do have a little bit of low blood pressure. Let's do a test on you. And so they did. And I completely flatlined. My heart stopped
Oh,
beating.
my God.
I died on the table.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
at 30 years old, I ended up having to get a pacemaker.
Oh, my God. So how long were you flatlined?
22 seconds.
Whoa.
And they zapped you back.
Smokes.
Yeah, well, they were about to, and she had paddles in her hand, but I woke up.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey,
So
guys,
obviously-
I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, you found at 30 years old, obviously you found you had some heart defect or something, or what happened to you?
I have something called neurocardiogenic syncope. So basically, my heart rate falls
Okay.
before like 40 beats a minute. when the average is like 80.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like a dead person walking, and so the pacemaker just kicks in and pushes the heart rate back up and
Oh, my gosh.
keeps me alive.
So did
I
you
had no
feel
idea.
did you feel any kind of like out of body experience when this was happening, or feel like you had a
it was
choice?
weird. So because I still had brain activity, I wasn't like, going to the other side or anything.
Yeah.
But I did see, it was almost like a kaleidoscope of light. I could see myself running. It was
Yeah.
really weird. It was like a nightmare almost. And then I just woke up and didn't know where I was or who I was or anything.
That's very,
unbelievable, Taylor.
I really would like to talk to you more in depth. That sounds very similar to the experience I had when I stopped breathing and was on Life Flight. That's exactly
Oh, my
how
gosh.
it felt. Like
People don't know why you're on Life Flight, though. 'Cause
I
every
had a
time we say
skydiving
it.
accident 5 years ago, and I stopped breathing. They had me intubated. They had me on Life Flight, and it did look like a kaleidoscope of lights. It felt like I understood everything in the universe, and I felt like I was being given the choice to either move on, and I was ready to move on, and then all of a sudden in the back of my mind, I thought, oh my God, I can't do this to my daughter, and I snapped out. I woke up, bam, tubes in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I really felt like definitely there's an afterlife,
Well,
For sure.
that's
For sure.
the kaleidoscope effect.
Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna be the new
very
movie.
much. That's what it felt like.
They're gonna call it that now, Ryan. The kaleidoscope effect.
Oh, sorry,
All
Kevin.
Hollywood.
It's just
They're
it was
gonna
a
say that.
very strange feeling, and to hear somebody say they had that same. I'm not trying to top your story. I promise you. I just been
No, I'm
fascinated that
fine.
you had the same kind of experience.
That's what I'm saying. The kaleidoscope effect is something we don't know unless people who
Yeah.
have had that, like you described it that way, Taylor. Ryan describes it that way.
No, I've had the kaleidoscope effect after my third margarita.
Depending on who made it, yes, 100%. 100%. Well, my gosh, Taylor, we're so glad you're okay, alive, and technology saves you all the time because of that pacemaker. What a story.
Glad you're with us.
390 KRBE. Or actually, you could, we have a lot of stories standing by. Let me go to another one because this one is Nydia found some money. Nydia is a big listener of the Roula and Ryan Show. We haven't heard from you in a while, Nydia. Hi.
Hey, how are
Hey.
you?
Fine.
Hey, good morning.
So you have found a bunch of money. Tell us the story. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelieve it or not. What happened?
Okay, so I was really late. I just got done playing bingo. I go play bingos on certain nights, and
yeah.
I went to a gas station, got McDonald's, and I decided to park in the parking lot, which I never do. I never park anywhere.
Okay.
And so I sat there, I ate, I got out of the car, and I'm like going back to my car. Like, there's a small bag behind my back tire. Like, I wouldn't have saw it if I didn't get out of my car. I get out being curious, as anyone would, and I get out, and there's money in there.
Wow,
So
how
I'm
much
like,
money?
Okay, $1,200.
Oh, all
Somebody's
loose in
got
there, or was
big
it like in
bingo
snacks?
balls.
It was like 20s, 100s, a couple tens. One like it was like at first I thought it was a deposit. At first, I was like, it was a deposit. So I walked in the store. I was like, hey, did y'all lose a deposit or anything like that? I'm being honest and being a good person. I'll return it back if someone lost from from there. Like, no, we didn't lose anything. Like, okay. So I was back in my car. I sat there for an hour. I was like, yeah, we'll sit here for a while. Maybe someone will come back. I was there till like midnight. No one came home, came back, and I went home.
I would have never stayed, but so,
Yeah, finders keepers is Kevin's
I would have
motto.
been like, okay. I mean, you did because here's the question, guys. Like, she did the one step of asking, hey, is this anybody's? Like, no. Like, are you supposed to go further with it?
No,
Or
because if you
guilt?
walked in and
or do you
said-
just say, okay, that's it?
If you
I
walked
asked,
in and
I'm out.
said,
tried.
hey, did anybody lose any money? That's okay. If you walked in and said, hey, did somebody lose $1,200? Yeah, I did. You have to make them exactly. They have to identify the amount.
Just like this happens whenever I'm spinning, someone loses a phone. I'm not going to be like, did someone lose a phone with a pink background?
Yeah, right. They have to tell you
describe
about
it.
it.
Tell me what's on the screen. Oh, okay, that's yours.
It's like, hey, we found a
Oh, that happens a
bracelet.
lot.
Yeah, everyone, because people get out there dancing, swinging their
Falls
hips
out
around.
of the pocket.
Yeah, so you got to keep
Is
the
that
money.
what happens?
Yeah, it's just like,
happens?
Wonder, was that somebody's big bingo winnings? I mean,
oh,
That's a good point.
That was
could have been somebody's big bingo
Can you win
winnings.
$1,200
Or-
at bingo?
sure.
Or
Yeah,
was
depending on the the
Wow.
pot of it.
some churches, like growing up, our church had bingo night. Maybe it was the church's money.
No, it would be the winner of the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it was the end of the bingo
Yeah,
night,
but I'm
somebody
saying
must
like
have
people
won it.
they paid to play, and there was a pot. So maybe it belonged to the church.
I don't know. The question is, how far do you take it when you find a lot of money? You want to try and do the right thing, but then because I thought that when we were kids growing up, I don't know if it was a myth or not, you're supposed to wait like 30 days. Like you give it to the police.
I don't think
and
that's
after 30 days, if nobody claims it, it's yours.
I don't think that's the law.
I don't know what that is now.
I don't think that's accurate.
Somebody text us at 37530. Did I just see that on TV somewhere? Because I was
look
raised
that
by
up real
television. And you can leave your calls on the listener line at 713-278-VENT. That's 8368 for unbelievable but true stories.